And this PPT, which I call Welcome to IT Industry, is the PPT which is going to be very useful. Hopefully, most of you will understand, and which will give you a bigger picture, which will tell you how you can either start your career, in which field you can start your career, and in which field you can get more money and more career growths. Okay, so having said that, let's discuss this Welcome to IT Industry document, and let's get started. After we've spent a couple of minutes on this, we will start with Power BI. I will do the setup and show you today. And this setup, you can do it with me of the Power BI. You can do it with me. And today and tomorrow, after the setup is done, we will be working on the hands-on on the Power BI tool. At 7 o'clock today, the team will be joining you. So Miss Mandvi from Skillslash, she will join, and she will take around 5 to 10 minutes of the time and guide you on the certificate, different career growths, and different information that she wants to share. So Mandvi will discuss the different things at 7 o'clock. Okay, so we'll take a short break where you will not be going out anywhere, but Miss Mandvi will be telling you how the certificate and everything can be given. Okay. Whatever PPT I am giving, I am showing it to you at the moment. This PPT will be shared. Okay, everybody, the PPT will be given, will be shared with you. So don't worry about the content, just focus on understanding the concepts for now. PPT will be shared. Certificate, if you attend today's and tomorrow's session, it will be given to you. Okay, so let's get started, everybody. And once again, a very big welcome to Skillslash workshop. I hope you enjoy this workshop. Please relax yourself. This is one of the very easy tools. So it's very easy to understand and comprehend and use these tools. You just need to have an interest in this tool. If you have the interest, it becomes very easy for you to understand how to use these tools. And I promise to give you a lot of hands-on experience. There are some exercises and all which I plan to do with you, which will give you a broader picture, which will give you a better understanding on how this tool can be used. Is that clear, everybody? Okay, so I want to keep this workshop very interactive. That is one thing which is very important, because the more we interact, the more easier it is for us to understand how the things and all work. So let us try to understand the different roles. I'm going to ask you some questions. If you know the answer, please let me know. The first question is, in front of you, you can see the 6 different roles in which we can start our career or switch our career. The first role is a role of a developer or a data analyst. And my now quick question for you is, what is the role of a developer? Who do you call a developer? Even if you want to make some guesses, it's absolutely fine. Make some guesses, guys. Who is a developer and what is the benefit? Or what does a developer do? Please write it in the chat and I'll wait for all of you. So developer is an individual who helps you build applications, right? Developer is somebody who will make applications, who will do the program coding. Very good. Thank you, everybody. And these are the different technologies: Java, Python, C++, Visual C, C#, HTML, JavaScript, Bootstrap, database. So this is the different things which a developer is capable of doing and helps you to build quality applications, right? Now the next role is a role of a tester. Now please write in the chat, what does a tester do? Excellent. So the developer is going to build the application, tester is going to test the application. Very good. Even before you give it to the end user, you will have to test the application. Very good, Karthik, Khushbu. Very good. Yes, Janvi, very nice. Papu, very good. Jukanti, very good. So somebody before releasing the app will test the application. So if you want to go into the field of testing, these are the 3 main things which are needed. You need to be very well conversant with the manual testing concepts, need to be comfortable with the certification called as ISTQB. And the third thing that you need to do is the automation test. All right, everybody. Now let's move on to the next field. The next field is the field of a business analyst. Please put it in the chat. What is the main responsibility of a business analyst, everyone? Please put it in the chat. Excellent answers. Very good, everybody. So somebody who's going to give the reports, requirements. Yes, good. So see, the developer is somebody who's going to build the applications, isn't it? Tester is somebody who's going to test the applications. But we definitely need someone who's going to be a bridge. Bridge between what? Bridge between the developer, the testers, the entire development team, and the end user. So somebody who's a bridge between the developer and the client, or the team and the client, is a business analyst. So if you want to go into a field of business analysis, you need to do some certifications, need to have that capability of understanding the requirements and converting those requirements into user stories, into some requirement documentations, right? Which you can explain it to the team. So who will be responsible for doing that? It's no other than the business analyst. So business analyst is one who's responsible for all the different business analysis certifications. All right, everybody, I hope that is clear. Yes. Okay. Next, please write it in the chat. Let's go on to the next role of a project manager. What does a project manager do? Can you please put it in the chat? I'll wait for all of you. Excellent. Somebody who will manage. Yes, Janvi, very good. Somebody, yes, Karthik, yes, very good. So somebody who will be managing the entire team, managing the entire project, isn't it? That is the role of a project manager. Very good. So if you feel, you are a kind of a person who can manage people, manage the requirements, then this role is definitely for you. For a project management role, what do you do? That is very important question, right? So in this project management role, you need to do the certification, which is PMP, Prince2. In addition to that, that skill set is also needed. What kind of a skill set is needed, everyone? Skill set to manage the people. That is a skill set that you need. You should be capable enough to manage the team of people, make sure the product is delivered on time. So time management, resource management, and the budget management. These are the couple of things which the project management managers are going to do. All right, everybody. So that is the next role in the field of IT. I hope you've understood these roles that we have discussed. Now let's move on to the next role, which is the role of a designer. Like you're communicating with me on the chat. Can you again let me know what is the role of a designer? Let's say your friend, your cousin, or anybody tells you I'm a designer. What is the main role of a designer? Excellent, very good. So somebody who's going to design the applications. Yes, Karthik, Harshav, very good. Who will tell us how the entire layout will work. Harshav, Sumit, good job. So designer is somebody who's going to design end-to-end application. Designer is somebody who will design the UI or the UX. Designer is a technical architect, somebody who's responsible for creating zeppelins or mock-ups, isn't it? So user interface, user design. Now, how many of us have heard of a term wireframing? The word is wireframing, WIREFRAMING. Anyone heard of wireframing? Can you put it in the chat? What does a wireframing do? Or what exactly is the benefit of wireframing? What is the benefit? Correct. So wireframing is an entire layout or a structure that you build, isn't it, for your project? So who will be responsible for building the wireframes? It is none other than the designer. So somebody who's responsible for giving a nice UI, user interface, UX, user experience. So somebody who is responsible for giving a fantastic user interface or a user experience is a designer. He's a technical architect. He's somebody who is responsible for giving the zeppelins or the mock-ups, right? That is what, these are the tools. So very good. Zeppelins, mock-ups, these are some of the tools which we use, which the designers will use to design the modules. So overall visualization. The last role is a role of a product support team. Now, how many of you have heard of a support team? And what do you feel about a support team? What is their main responsibility? What do the support team do? Can you put it in the chat? So what is the main responsibility? What do you feel? Support. Somebody says I'm in a support team. What they are responsible for doing? Excellent. Supporting the product, right? Once the customer has actually delivered, once you have delivered the product to the customer, what do you need to do? Excellent answer. You need to make sure that whatever the product the customer has given, that particular product, once the customer is using and facing any issues, your system should handle it, isn't it? Your system should actually be in a situation that it should be supported. So who is going to support it? It is going to be no other than the support team. So once the project goes live and you need somebody to support the team, that is the main role of a support team. When it comes to support team, the other thing is the another benefit of a support team is to make sure that if there is any ongoing bugs or anything which the customer reports, it can be utilized, can be handled very well. Okay, that is the another benefit. Okay, so I hope this slide was useful. You have been able to visualize the different roles of IT and you are able to understand what are the different roles in which you can either start or switch your career. All right, everybody. Okay, so I hope this was useful. Let us get started with the Power BI, and I'm going to share my Power BI slides with you in a moment. Now, even before I do that, do you have any questions from the slides? Can you please put your exercise, Shobna? Thank you. I'm glad that this was very useful. Really glad. Thank you for that. Can you tell me, is there any questions that you have? Now, some of you might say, Priyanka, there are some roles like Scrum Master, Scrum Owner. Yes, there are roles. Definitely, there are roles. But this was in a nutshell, giving you the different roles in which you can start your career. Okay, so I hope this career counseling slide was very useful, very beneficial for all of you. Any questions now related to this? If you have, definitely I'm going to take it up now. Business analyst, what are the challenges? What do we mean by challenges, Karthik, here? Is Power BI very useful for the freshers? Yes, it is, and it is very easily helpful for digital marketing employees also. Yes, Shubhangi. Power BI is used in these positions. Yes, some of these positions do use it. Consultant is another role, Arvind. Yes, correct. Somebody who will be in the consultant role. Power BI, does it need coding? No. K. Purushottam Reddy. Power BI does not need any coding. Okay. Power BI and Tableau differences. Very good question, Satram. So Power BI is one tool. Tableau is another tool. Very good question that was asked. They are two different tools. We have in fact a slide today which we will go through, in which we are going to understand the different roles of IT. I mean the different things. We're going to talk about this. We're going to definitely talk about it. Okay. Any other questions? Both are BI tools, correct? Both of them are BI tools. Any other questions you have? Are we going to cover the queries? Yes, we will cover. So we will do that practically, correct? Any other question? Which is easy to learn, Power BI or Tableau? See, both of them are very easy tools. I cannot say that this is easy, this is not easy. Both of them are very easy tools. It all depends upon how much practice you do. Okay, how much practice you are doing. Brilliant. Okay, can we get the recordings? Yes, this recordings will be hosted on the YouTube channel. Whatever we are speaking at the moment, it is getting recorded. You will get the recording, everyone. Nothing to worry, nothing to panic. Recordings will be given. You will not have any, you will have the certificate also. And at 7 o'clock, somebody from the team will write. Okay, is that clear, everybody? Any other questions before we continue? Okay, let's go on to the Power BI section now. So Power BI, as some of you already mentioned, it is one of the business intelligence tools. So something which helps you to visualize your data. So Power BI is one of the data visualization. It is one of the business intelligence tools which converts the data from the different data sources into interactive dashboard and BI reports, right? We live in the we live in the region of data, right? Where there is a huge amount of data. There's huge amount of data, right? But tell me, write it in the chat. Tell me which is easier, reading the data, reading the data from the tabular format, or if it is drawn in the form of pictures, which is much more clearer, which is much more understandable, which is much more clearer. Tell me, guys. Obviously, the picture, right? You go to a doctor. When you go to a doctor and there is a chart depicting the way the height of a child increases, if it is a boy or a girl, and there is a chart which shows you the same thing, and there is a tabular format. Which one looks more attractive, the chart or the table? in the chart. Yes, the chart or the table that gives you much more. So when it comes to visualization, we always say a line, we say a picture speaks 1,000 words, right? A picture speaks 1,000 words. So that means if something is denoted to you in a picture format, that will make much more sense as compared to something which is not in the picture format. So imagine there is a huge Excel sheet in which the information is there. Is that very much useful, or it is the visualization? So definitely the visualization. So Power BI is a data visualization. It is a business intelligence tools which helps you to convert the data into an interactive format. It helps you to generate some dashboards. It helps you to generate some BI reports. Okay, so that is the main benefit of Power BI. Now, some of you have asked a question as I look into this is like Vipul said, pictorial representation stays in memory for a long span of time. Very good point, Vipul. So something which you see as a picture, as a visualization, stays in your mind for a long time. You will not be able to forget it quickly, right? Moreover, as Rohit said, visualization is easy to understand because if you have a huge amount of data, what happens? It gets really boring to understand, to conclude. It becomes very difficult. Okay. So visualizations, we all agree, is definitely very much useful. It's very much beneficial. And having said that, I'm going to give you 2 minutes of time to please write it down. These are the different components of the Power BI. Please write it down, everybody. The different components of Power BI. I hope you can see my screen. Just take a note of this and let me know once you have written them down, write down in the chat. I hope you have a notebook or somewhere where you're taking the notes. Okay, looks like most of us have written it down. Good job. So these are the 4 main components when it comes to Power BI, everybody. What are these 4 main components? The first is Power Query. The second is the Power Pivot. The third is the Power View. And the fourth is the Power BI service. So these are the 4 main components. When it comes to Power Query is something which is utilized, which is very beneficial for cleaning the data. There is a huge amount of data, and you will all agree with me, you cannot use that data as it is, right? You need to clean that data. Cleansing is very important. So Power Query, what it helps you to do, it helps you to clean the data. And the Power Pivot is something which will help you create the relationship between these multiple data sources that you have got, right? So many relationships can be created using it. Is that clear, everybody? No questions? So whenever it is about the Power Query, it will only, the main benefit of Power Query will be, it will help you to clean the data, unnecessary data that you have. It will be all cleansed up. It will be all deleted. That is the main big benefit. I hope that's clear. The next thing which comes, the next component which we have got is the Power Pivot, which helps you to create the relationship between multiple data sources. We then have Power View, which helps you to create different types of charts. We then have a Power BI service. It helps you to share your data from one source to another source. Now coming to why Power BI. Why do we need Power BI? Let's talk about it. This PDF will be shared, guys. I told you already, the content will be shared. Now coming to why should we use Power BI tool as a visualization tool. Power BI tool is very much preferred. Power BI tool is very much utilized or needed because of the speed, because it is very user friendly. Another important thing is the eye catching and interactive dashboards can be created using Power BI. That is another big benefit, right? It helps you to create functions, visualizations. This is another very much big benefit, right? What else? In terms of the cost, it is not a very costly tool. That is another big benefit. It's not a costly tool. I'll give you the pricing and all in a minute. And the next slide talks about it. So I'm going to give you the pricing as well. And the next important is the data connectivity. The data connectivity is a very big feature over here. If you have, there is a terminology called as data source. What is data source? Data source is something where your entire data is available, right? So when it comes to data connectivity, it really helps you to connect to at least nearly thousands of data sources. It helps you to play. So see how beneficial this tool is. So multiple data sources can be connected. The cost is good, the speed and the user friendliness. So these are some of the benefits. Now, when it comes to the Power BI, how it works, it has got two main components. One is the desktop and the second is the service. Desktop is something which will help you to create the reports, right? And the Power BI service is something which will help you to publish the reports. Imagine you are supposed to give some reports to your customers. You want to give some reports to your end users, right? These reports that you want to generate, these reports that you want to publish, let's say you want that every Monday morning, these reports should be sent to the people, right? In this case, the Power BI tool can help you do that. You can automate the process through which the reports will be automatically shared, right? So Power BI desktop helps you to create those reports. Power BI service helps you to send those reports, publish those reports. So Power BI desktop used to create the reports, and as I said, Power BI service will help you publish the reports, generate the reports. Right? Clear, everybody? Time for questions. Any doubts you've got? Anything that you want to ask? No doubts. Okay, no questions. Now let me show you how the Power BI setup can be done, and let us all do this setup now. Okay, so that we can parallelly practice all these things. Let's do the setup now. So now what I'm going to do in the chat, everybody, I'm putting a link through which you can install the Power BI on your system. So let me do that. Everyone in the meeting, I have sent it. Rohit, question is how much time it takes as a Power BI as a fresher. So this 2 days workshop, guys, that you are having with me will give you a very reasonable idea on how Power BI is working. But that doesn't mean you've become an expert in Power BI. I would recommend you to continue to practice the concept. I would recommend you to continue to understand these concepts of Power BI. I would recommend you to keep doing self-learning on Power BI. Okay. All right, so all those who have the Power BI setup, you can ignore this step. And all those who do not have this setup, please click on the download option. And can you see the download Power BI desktop version? Please click on the download step. So this is the link which I have given it to you, isn't it? So if you scroll down, you will get this option of download. Can you please click on the download? Yes, I'll wait for you. Let's go a little slow. And please write done in the chat once you have found the link. So the version which we are going to download is, you know which version, which is the desktop version. That is what we are going to download. And it is a free version, which we are all going to download. As you click on the download option, you will all see it redirects you to Power BI desktop. From there you can download, and it will give you an option starting download, and then it will download the Power BI desktop. on your system. Based on your laptop speed, the internet connectivity, the memory you have got, it will take time in some of your laptops, and some of the cases it will be very quick, right? I have uninstalled Power BI before the workshop, so I can show you how to download it. Okay. Please don't download it from on your mobile. Download it on your laptop. If you are obviously using the mobile data, it will be very slow. Okay. Yes, from Microsoft. Correct, Naga. Any questions or installation? Anyone? The link to download. I've already shared the link to download in the chat. I'll put it one more time. And I'll repeat the steps also. So what we are going to do is we are going to, yes, it's a very bulky file, guys. It's a bulky file. This is the link. Any good laptop, the recent one, the latest one should do, not a problem. So please download it. And once the download has started, just wait for some time. Power BI will be downloaded on your system. Okay, just wait for some couple of minutes. I'll wait for all of you to download this file, and then we are going to go ahead. Okay. Some of you saying done, some of you saying downloading. I'll wait for all of you. Remember, the version that you have to download is Power BI desktop. Okay, you will just download the Power BI desktop because only that version is free. Are you going to teach it from the scratch? Yes, yes, please. I will start from the very first basic. Don't worry. In this workshop, I'll be teaching you Power BI from scratch. This is what I can promise. Okay, and you don't have to finish the setup in next 10 minutes. Don't worry, let it download at its own pace. There is nothing to panic. Nothing to panic. Let it take its own time. Some of times what happens is your laptop is a bit slow or the internet connectivity is low. So in that case, it might take a longer time. Some of it will be dependent on the internet. Okay, so let it take its own time. We will continue. Now, all that we have to do is once this Power BI setup has been done successfully on your system, you will start that exe file that you have downloaded. Okay, whichever exe file that got downloaded, you will click on that exe file. That's fine. I will not wait for all of you to download it fully because I'm very sure you will be able to download it, right? So now what we will do is as part of the syntax, as part of this setup, what we will do, we will run the exe file, right? And then as you select, it will ask you to select the language. You will click on next. And then you will say, it will ask you to prepare for installations. You will click on the next option again. You will click on next. And finally, next again, next and install. Okay, this is the setup. All right, everybody, is that clear? So let it set up, and meanwhile it is setting up. Don't rush, let it set up fully. It will copy the files. You can see that it is installing the Power BI desktop, which were x64. That is the configuration. And once the setup is fully done, it will direct you. It will ask you whether you want to put the Power BI desktop shortcut as on your desktop. It's always a good idea to put it as a shortcut. You will double click on the shortcut that is generated, right? And once you have done that, it will move you to the next step. Is that clear, everybody? So it is just proceeding with the setup, publishing the product information. That is the status. You can keep checking the status, what status it is at the moment. So status is publishing the product information. Let's complete it. How many of you have done this setup? Can you write done in the chat? Okay, done. Some of you are still doing. Meanwhile, any questions? It will navigate you to Microsoft Store. You will go there and you can download it from there, right? And then there is another link. Remember, I gave you another link from where you can do the setup. That will direct you to, it will not even take you to Microsoft Store. It will just directly take you to the download option. Okay. So many of you are saying done. So once this Power BI setup is all up and running, you can launch it now. You can see Power BI desktop shortcut is created. You will click on the Power BI desktop version. And then what it will do is it will open the Power BI desktop for you. And that's all with the setup. Okay. So meanwhile, the setup is getting started with getting ready. Let us now quickly go to the slides and try to understand some of the things that we wanted to understand. What we are going to now understand, everybody, is the comparison of the Power BI tool with the Tableau tool. And soon after that, we will do a bit of hands-on on this tool to understand how the data set and all can be loaded, can be utilized. Okay. So give me a moment. Anybody who got any errors in importing the data, in downloading it, or any errors, any issues till now? Any questions so far? All good? No issues. Compulsory to download and install. No, it is a good idea to install any software you are using. It is a good idea to install it, please, isn't it? Right. So meanwhile, it's installing for you. Let's look at a Power BI and the Tableau comparison. So as you can see over here, the main features are written over here. Tableau tool is the features about Tableau are written over here, and Power BI tools information is written over here. So as I told you, the visualization, when it comes to data visualization, Power BI, the Tableau is only majorly used as a main data visualization tool in the market, right? It provides you strong data visualization, but it is majorly used for the data visualization. On the other hand, the Power BI provides you a very strong backend data manipulation along with the access to simple visualization. So see, which one is more powerful? Which one is more powerful, guys? It's definitely the Power BI, right? Clear, everybody? So Power BI gives you both the strong backend data manipulations and also helps you to do data visualizations. These are the benefits. Okay. The next one is on the size of data set. What is the data set? The data set is the place where is the information from where you get the data, right? So Tableau is set to connect much more larger data set as compared to the Power BI. In Power BI, there is 1 GB data limit, which is there in the free version, but Tableau can connect to much larger data sets. When it comes to data sources, Tableau connects a wide range of data sources. I will show you the steps once we are back from break, how you can select the data sets and how you can do the visualizations. I will cover them with you. But Power BI covers most of the data sources which are available in Tableau. It's an online version and it supports direct visualizations on the search engine. I hope that's clear. In terms of the costing, Tableau is expensive, much expensive than your Power BI tool. And how much is the cost? Let's talk about it. It's somewhere around $70 per user per month costing. That is it. But once you pay for this amount, it will be helping you connect to hundreds of data sources. Okay. Power BI, on the other hand, provides you a free version with 1 GB limit on the data set. The Power BI Pro is also a very cheaper solution, very cheaper solution. And how much does that cost? US dollars 9.99 per user per month. So do you see the difference, everyone? Yes. So there's a huge difference on the data set. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. So I hope the theoretical part is clear. When we come back from break, we are good now. And I hope by that time the setup will also be done and then it will be easy for us to start working. So this is how it works. Once you will download, you will get this launch button. Once you click on the launch button, this is how the visualization of the Power BI tool looks like. So you've got home, insert, modeling, view and help. This is the area where you will be drawing the graphs. These are the filters. These are the different visualizations. These are the different fields which get imported from the Excel sheet. And these are the basic charts. How do you draw the basic charts in Power BI? The very first step is you will connect to the data source. What is the data source? Wherever your data is present, that is your data source. So this is the Power BI tool, guys, which I have downloaded for us, right? Most of you have also downloaded it. And what you can do over here is you can click on this cross button and you can see this option. You can import the data from the Excel. You can import the data from the SQL Server, from the database. You can paste the data into the bank table or from a sample data set. I'll show you all these options and you will be really happy to see how Power BI can be used to draw wonderful visualizations. Okay. Some of you are asking questions on the PPT. I will share the PPT, guys. So it's not a problem at all. Okay, just focus on understanding this content will be shared. And by now, I hope most of you have already done the setup also, Power BI downloaded. Even if it is not downloaded, it is absolutely fine. You can do that setup. Just make sure before tomorrow's class, at least, you have done the setup. Now, there are different charts in Power BI that we are going to understand. Just before we do that, okay, there is again some questions on assignment. It is mandatory to complete the assignment for the certificate. No, assignment completion is not mandatory, Ritesh. Attending the sessions is mandatory. Where you can get the assignment from? I will give you the assignment today towards the end of the session. I will provide you the assignment. Yes, this certificate will definitely add a value to your job. Why not? Madan Kumar, the data set. Yes, the data set will also be given to you. Naga, that is what Ms. Mandvi was explaining in that 10-15 minutes discussion. PPT will be given to you. Okay, guys, let's get started. So we're going to make some basic charts in Power BI. What are the different steps of making the basic charts in Power BI? The very first step is that you will connect to the data source. Once the data source is connected, you will choose what kind of visualization you actually want to draw. You will then, after you've chosen the visualization, the next step is to select the fields to be worked on. What are the different fields you will be working on? Is that clear? These are the three main steps. Please take a note of it. And now I'm going to show you a data set which will give you a very clear understanding. Okay, so how my data set is, I'll just quickly show you in a minute. So I hope you can see a sheet now, which I am opening, which I call it as a data set. In this data set, there is some information that I've got. Tableau data set. And in the Tableau data set, you can see there are different informations. There are different sheets. One sheet is called as orders. The second sheet is called as returns. The third sheet is called as people. Okay. Orders. The next is returns. The next is people. When it comes to orders, these are the different things: ship mode, customer ID, customer name, the segment, the country, the city, state, postal code, the region, product ID, category, subcategory, product name, sales, quantity, discount, and profit. Some people might do the returns. If they have returned, yes. What are the order IDs? That also I've written. Then the different people. So from this data set, majorly we will be using the orders. Okay. Now let's go to the next thing. What is the first step? The first step is to connect to the data source. Okay. Is that clear? What do you want to see again, Joey? The data set? Yes, you can download it from anywhere. So connect to the data set. How do you do the connection? You will locate the data and you will get the connection done to read the data. Power BI has a large range of data sources. You can click the get data option and you can do the connection. And let me do one thing for some of you. I think maybe if you're joining from a different, if you have joined from a desktop version, you might not find this setup, but some of you might be able to even download it. Okay, so I will give it to you. So in the chat, I am putting the Tableau data set for all of you. So you can use it. Give me just 1 second. Okay, this Tableau data set is the one which we need. I'm going to put it in the chat again. Okay, can you see a data set? You will be able to see it in the chat. Yes? Okay, please download it. Some of you are joining from the web version. You might not be able to see it, but it's okay. Okay, I'll wait for you to download the data set from the chat now. All right, so now by now looking at your chats, I hope most of you have downloaded the data set. If you have not got the data set for some reasons, you're not able to download it, it's absolutely fine. You don't have to worry about it. What I'm going to do is, no, I wasn't talking, guys. Sorry, I was not talking. I was waiting for you to download the data set. Okay. If the data set is downloaded, good. Even if it is not downloaded, it is fine. As I told you, what I'm going to do is this data set, we will make it available for all of you. And once this data set is available for you, you all can use that data set. Okay, so don't worry about that you need the data set immediately. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how you can import that data set. So you will click on that import option and you will select the data set and click on the open option. As you click on the open data set option, it will show you connecting. Can you see that? It is showing you connecting. So once it is connected successfully, next what it will do, you will see some options like orders, peoples, and return. Order, people, and return. So if you want all the three tabs, I have already shown you the data set. In that data set, there were 3 options, isn't it? So if you want to have orders, people and returns, and you want all these 3 options, you will select all of them and you will then click on the load option. This is that load option. But let's say if you want to just use the orders and not the people and the returns, you can uncheck this option and you can then click on the load. You can see that there is another option called transform data. This transform data will help you modify the data. See, most of the time the data will be good, right? But many times you will not be able to get the same data in a very good format. In that case, you want to modify. Some of you are asking me, how did you get this screen? That I am going to explain it to you now. One more time, please look at it very carefully. As you open the Power BI option, just give me a second, my data is loading. As you click on the Power BI option, you will see that there is an option import from the data set. Do you see an option? I'll just show you this option in a minute. See, this is how you can import it. You will say import data from Excel. Click on this option, import data from Excel, everybody. Yes, clicked everybody. Then you will get this option. And from here, you can load your entire data. You can then click on this load option. And that's all. Can you do this step and ask me if you have any questions? Okay, clear everybody? Any questions? You were able to import the data? Excellent. As soon as you have imported the data, you will see that inside this orders option, you will have different options. You will have category, city, country, customer ID, name, order date. Can you see these different options? Where are these different options coming from? These different options are coming from the fields, from that Excel sheet. Okay, it's working now. Perfect. Good job, everybody. So now what next we are going to do? Now we know how to import the data set. So this is that option, get data, Excel workbook. You can get it from Excel, Power BI data sets, Dataverse, SQL Server. You can get it from the text or the CSV file, any option. Okay. Next thing is choose the visualization. What kind of visualization do you actually want to make, right? That has to be chosen. And how you can choose that visualization? This is that option, new visual. As you click on this new visual, once you have downloaded the data, I request everybody to click on this new visual. And you can drag this visualization, make it bigger. Yes, this is the way you can make it visualization bigger. You can just drag it and make the visualization bigger. Okay, what is the next step now? In the next step, as part of the PPT, you can see it says you can save the fields, whichever in the desired area, whatever you need, you will be selecting those fields, right? So that is what I'm going to select. Those different fields have to be selected. So let's say that I wanted, these are the different values and the columns you can see, right? Now I'm going to explain you the different UI elements of Power BI. These are the different fields that I have: category, city, country, customer ID, name, discount, order date. All the information of the fields are here. From here, you can select the visualizations. What kind of visualizations can you actually make in Power BI? You can make a stacked bar chart. You can make a stacked column chart. You can make a chart like this. Can you see these different options, everybody? Clustered column chart can be created. You can have a 100% stacked bar chart. So these are these different options which can be plotted. You can create line charts. You can create area charts. You can have stacked area charts. You can have the line and the stacked chart together. You can have a line and a clustered chart together. You can have a ribbon chart. After ribbon chart, you can have a waterfall chart. You can make funnel charts. Scatter charts are very powerful. Pie charts. We can make the donut charts. The tree maps, again, very useful. You can generate maps. You can generate field maps. You can have gauges. You can have this card charts like this. Multi-row card like this. You can have the key performance indications. You can create slicers. You can have tables. You can have different matrices. Just I want you to visualize this area. So these are these different options which you can generate. Now, as you're looking at these different charts, some of you might think that these charts can be created in an Excel sheet also, right? Then what is so special in Power BI? The pivots that you create in the Excel sheet and the pivots that you make in the charts that you make in Power BI, there is a lot of difference, and that difference is on the time. The amount of time it takes the Power BI to generate the charts and amount of time it takes the for you to generate the chart, there's a difference. So it is definitely going to take us less time. Okay, so in Power BI, anybody knows any other difference between generating a chart from the Excel and Power BI? Interactive, yes. The moment you make any changes in your tabular data set, the chart, the table, the graph that you are plotting, that graph or table, it gets automatically changed at a very rapid speed. That is one of the very, very good big benefits which are actually missing in the case of an Excel sheet. In Excel sheet, if it is taking you around 4 minutes to draw a plot, in the case of Power BI, it will take you just 1 minute. So see the ratio 1:4. That is the simplicity of this tool. Okay, so these are the different graphs which can be plotted: stacked bar, stacked column, clustered bar chart, clustered column chart, and the 100% stack. Now let us try to understand these charts one by one, everybody. I'm going to click over here and I'm going to select the category option which I have, and I'm going to put it into the x-axis. You all can do these steps with me. You can all do these steps with me. So in the axis, I have put the category and I have put the count of category over here. And did you see, in a single minute, I was able to plot this graph so quickly. So this is the count of category by category. Count of categories. These are the different categories. What are these different categories? The office supplies, the furniture, and the technology. Now very carefully visualize this. You can see this focus part, right? Focus mode. If I click on this focus mode, it will make this chart bigger and bigger. Isn't it not making it bigger? Yes. So the office supplies, and when you want to go to back to report, this is the option. So I'll repeat the steps. You will click on this focus option. As you click on this focus option, you will see office supplies, the furniture, and the technology getting printed, and you are getting it in this way. Yes, source data will remain same only. It will be unchanged, Suresh. That is not going to change. Okay. Perfect. No questions. So you can see over here category versus count of category. What else can we plot? Let's delete. So the moment you delete, you will see that the visualization is actually gone. So the other option is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a category. And in the y-axis, let's go with the sales. So I just selected sales from this option and I'm putting it in the y-axis. See the graph, everyone? So this graph got generated. This is a sales across the category column. On the x-axis, I've got the category. On the y-axis, I've got the sales. On the y-axis, I've got the technology, furniture, and office supplies. On the x-axis, I've got the different sales. 0.0 M, 0.2 M, 0.4 M, 0.6 M. Can you draw this graph? Done, everybody? So sales versus the category. And now I'm going to show you the different things which you can add here. So that below this visualizations curve, so over here below, see, I've got a legend. Can you see this legend here? In the legend, I can add any legend that I want to add over here. So you can see add data fields, small multiples, tool tips are there, right? So tooltips, if I click on this tooltips is asking me add the data field here. Let's say I want to put a tooltip sales. So I will drag and put it here. Now, if you hover your mouse, can you see the categories, technology, and the tooltip? Tooltip is something that will come when you are hovering your mouse. What is the category? The technology. What is the sales? 836, 154.03. Right? So you can see the tools now. Similarly, I can have multiple tooltips. That is also possible. If I say profit, this profit I can drag and I can put it under this tooltip option. See that, everybody? So what I'm trying to explain here is you can have multiple tooltips. You can have a sales versus profit tooltip. See? Okay. So these are some of the different options which are available. This is how you can customize the things. And I'm going to just scroll it down. Now, similar to this graphs, I hope all of you have plotted these two. Okay. Sales is coming 2 times because one is because of the tooltip and one is by default sales is there on the y-axis. Okay, does that answer? Okay. We'll click on back to report and you will see that this graph is there. If you want to stop the chart, you can just click on the chart and you can delete this. You can then click on the new visual again. Brilliant. Understood, everybody. Now let us draw a pie chart. So in order to draw a pie chart, what we will do, we will click on this pie chart option. And as you click on this pie chart option, you will see that the pie chart visual has got generated. Can you do all these steps with me? And you will select the category in the legend. Just make sure you are selecting the appropriate fields. If you don't select the appropriate fields, then you will not get the correct answer. Okay, so please make sure that you are giving a good visual. Everybody clear? So see, this is how I can add the legend. Again, if it is not visible properly, you can select it like this: category, furniture, office supplies, technologies, right? So anytime any visual has to be created, this is how you will add the visual. In the values, I'm adding the categories. And see, a pie chart has got created. Is that clear, everybody? Any questions around this? No questions. Have you drawn this pie chart? You can also make basic charts in Power BI. You can make a stacked bar chart like this. So see, this is a stacked bar chart. What is the benefit of a stacked bar chart? A stacked bar chart tells you, Naga, it's not clear. You want me to repeat? Okay. All right. So I think you are doing these steps with me. So good job for that. If you're not able to understand, I will show it to you one more time. So I'll just go to the Power BI option. I'll click on back to report. I will delete this option and show you one more time. I'll click on the new visual option. All right, everybody. So this new visual option has to be selected. And I'll just click on cross for now. Or you can also click on get data option. And I'll show you the graph one more time. So we'll click on import data from Excel. Click on the Tableau data set. Click on open. You can see that the data is loading. Once the data is loading, you will go to this fields option. This fields table will get populated. We will click on the orders option. I'm showing you the steps again. Clicking on the load option again. And the data will now be loaded. Once the data is fully loaded, what step we are going to follow, as I explained you earlier also, very simple. You will just import the data, and then somebody was asking me how to draw a pie chart. You will click on this new visual option. Please click on this new visual. As you click on this new visual option, you will select this pie chart option. And maybe the previous one, you can delete it. Select this visual. You can drag it to make it bigger. And then on the top of this, can you see this values column? Kindly do these things with me. Select this category option. Select the values. And that's all. If you want to add the legend also, select this category and add it to the legend. This is how you generate it. Is that now clear? Can we all make this pie chart? So do the same limitations apply on the Power BI chart as same in Excel charts? No, Power BI is very much more advanced version. It doesn't have many limitations as such. Okay. Perfect. Now moving on to the next chart. Now I'm going to show you some more charts. Stacked bar chart has to be plotted. So this is your assignment number 1. Can you take a photo of this? I want you to draw a same plot. This is the assignment. Please create a stacked bar chart. You can see, I'll do one thing. I'll just give you a snapshot of it. 1 second. Okay. This is the assignment number 1. I request all of you to take a snapshot. And you will be making this graph for tomorrow. All right, everybody, taken a snapshot. If you have taken a snapshot, write done so I can go ahead. I wanted to give you the assignment right in the beginning of just before the session finishes. So please let me know once you have done this. Brilliant. Most of you have taken the snapshot. So this is what your target will be. Exactly similar stack chart has to be created. Exactly similar stack chart, please. This is the pie chart which you will create region wise sales. South, west, east, central. This is another graph which you can plot. You can have donut charts like this created. I have shown you that in the visualization. You can have funnel charts created like this, something similar. You can have basic charts like this, which is a ribbon chart. And now coming to the include and exclude option. Many times, there will be some things which you want to include as part of your data set. There will be some things which you will not want to include in your data set or in your graph. If you don't want to include anything in your data set, you can just say exclude option. So include option and exclude option. So these are the different charts that you can plot. This is the data set that we are using. And you can also export the data from the chart. So you can see this option, export data, and you will be able to export the data from the chart. You can create tables like this. If you look at this visualization, this is the option from which you can display your data in the tabular format. The accessories, the appliances, the arts, the binders, the bookcases, the chairs, copiers. I hope you can see all this, right? You can have tabular data in Power BI tables denoted in this format. Tabular data in Power BI. This is how we can format the tables. You can change the font size, the column header size, the grid, the style, the field formatting, the background color, the titles. All these things can be formatted. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes. Can you quickly create a table and follow these instructions? I'll give you 2 minutes of time, everyone. Based on whatever understanding we have, can we do this quick exercise now in the class? If you have done this, please send the done in the chat so I know that most of you have completed this as well. Good job, everybody. So how easy was it to plot a graph like this? Was it easy? All you had to do was change the font size, go to values, text size. And if you wanted to change the column header, you have to just go to column headers and text size. In the grid, if you want to add a grid, what is a grid? Grid is a series of lines in this case, isn't it? The columns and the rows and the columns. So if you want to add the grid, you would add the grid by using the grid option. You would say grid, vertical or horizontal grid, and you will select the table auto format. Style will be the bold header, field formatting. And can you all see there is a different color which is given behind it, which is a blue color. So that is what the background color has to be given. Finally, you will give that last title. So that is that add title option, everybody, that you have to give. Okay. So any questions on this? All clear? How did I change the color? Was that easy? Okay, great. Good job. How did I change the color? Okay, let me show you the option. Can you see the option background color in the fields column? This formatting option, I'll show you in the Power BI. You will see the background color over here in the values. So from there, you can select the option. Is that clear now? Have you understood, everybody, the background option? Brilliant, brilliant. Good job, everybody. All right. Any questions? We will conclude the class now. And all right. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And we will all catch up tomorrow, same time, 6 o'clock. Have a nice evening. And thank you for joining the first day today.